Hey everybody, this is Camilla with Blue Creek Canine, and today we're going to talk about preparing for a puppy. I just picked up my puppy 2 days ago, so I thought this is the perfect time to make a little video about how do we prepare for a puppy. So a few things to think about. First and foremost, structure. If we have structure in our home, consistent rules, then our puppy can be successful. So that means you need to kind of prepare to think about what are your rules in your home. Do you allow your puppy on the furniture, on the bed? Do you allow the dog to lay under your chair as you're eating dinner? Do you want your dog to be someplace else? Um, what do you want your dog to do when you put a leash on? What do you want your dog to do when you open a door? Those kind of things I want you to start thinking about now and write them down. Then we need management. Management is one that's going to keep you safe. I shouldn't say safe. What's going to keep you sane? It's going to keep your puppy safe and your sanity intact. So what that means is exercise pens, crates, baby gates to create these barriers. You want to have places that is just for the puppies, especially also if you have kids in the home. You want like kid-free zones, dog-free zones. You need to make sure that doors are closed. You need to make sure that shoes are not on the floor, shoes are away. Things that you don't want your puppy to chew on is not even available. That kind of management makes sure that you start creating some good habits in your puppy from the very get-go. Because think about, I can't tell you how many people I come out to and say, well, my puppy take things, whether it's shoes or underwear or socks, and then people run after the puppies to get it. Well, what happens is you unconsciously you created a fun chase me game. So you just added a heck of a lot more value to the fact of the puppy taking something and then run away with it. And then if the puppy can get your attention and now you run after them, oh my gosh, that is the best game ever. That is a great way to get your attention. The problem is you don't think this is a good game, so it can create a lot of conflicts. And instead, what you can do is just simply put your things away. If your dog does get a hold of something, create a little exchange game. You call the puppy, they come with whatever they took, and they get a treat. Now it's a different type of game, but it's a game where the puppy will actually seek you out and will like to drop whatever they have and get instead of the treat. And that way it's a good habit because they will eventually pick something up. You just need to have a plan for how you then gonna get it back. So management, as I said, baby gates, exercise pens, crates, all those things need to be in place. Naps. Make sure your puppy take naps. It might seem quite easy that they will take their own nap on their own time, but you know what? There was a very good example of me. I spent the first 24 hours just with my puppy by myself. The kids were not home, and it was perfect because he doesn't know me. So they gave us a day to just first take a couple hours where he just got to hang out with me. We just got to learn about each other. He just got to say, hey, this lady might not be so horrible. We got to do a little bit of training and just kind of got to know each other. Then I took him home, and then he had to meet another dog and 3 cats. So that was a lot to take in. He had to just figure out what to do here. And then after he slept at the house and everything, the next day the kids were there. And it was interesting to me to just kind of see how much noise and movement and stimulating kids are. They're very stimulating. So he was trying to take a nap several times and he just kept getting woken up by a child slamming a door or somebody yelling or something, somebody moving. So I then took him into the bedroom, closed the door, and told the kids, you are not allowed to come in here for the next hour. And I was laying next to him, and I was surprised really how much noise the kids are doing, how much noise they're making. Just I'm used to it, but from a puppy's point of view, who's not used to kids and just trying to take a nap, there's something interrupting all the time. So make sure that you do allow your dog a kid-free space and hopefully also a little noise-reducing space where they can go and take naps. Naps are essential to not only their developmental phases they have to go through, they have to kind of have that to develop. Just like kids, they need naps because also if they get overly tired, man, they get obnoxious. There's more biting and yipping, and they get easily frustrated, just like children. So make sure your puppy gets naps. Socialization, and not just what we just say, we just need to socialize. No, proper socialization. What that means is that any interaction that your dog has, whether it's with people, kids, um, other animals, bicycles, scooters, water, different noises, trucks, FedEx guys, different surfaces, different, just everything for them is new in the world. You have to make sure that they leave that experience feeling good. So do not necessarily take your puppy to the big family reunion right away because it's going to be overwhelming. So very short, successful introduction to new things, surfaces, objects, people. And if it's something that you really want to create a good positive experience with, man, put some treats in there too, and then leave before it gets to be too much. So that is something I highly recommend. And make sure on my puppy page, there is in the socialization section, there's a great article about how to properly socialize your puppy. Then training. Of course, we also need to work on skills such as impulse control, your regular manners, sit down, stay, loose leash walk, all those things. But what is very important is that you need to realize that your dog is learning all the time. So you can't just say, well, 10 minutes a day, I'm going to work on loose leash walk. And any other time I have a leash on during the day, I'm just going to let the puppy do whatever and just drag him. That is not how your dog's going to learn a reliable, strong behavior, because it's going to associate every time they get a leash on, what are the rules. So actually, even though I have little training sessions with my puppy, and I will upload videos about several training sessions, but even though I have those training sessions, I'm also aware that all throughout the day, anytime he sees anything, he makes a choice, anything like that, he is learning. So keep that in mind. They are learning all the time. Good nutrition. You got to give them good food so they can grow. Whether you're using kibble, that's okay, but try and find a higher brand, higher quality brand. And then add, you got your plain whole fat yogurt, you got your krill oil, eggs, green leaf vegetables, other vegetables, fruit, apple, banana, blueberries. Add some stuff in the eggs. I think I said eggs already. Make sure to add some fresh fruit and fresh vegetables and some fresh food. It has shown, recent studies have shown that it can reduce the cancer risk with up to 90%. I mean, think about that. 90% just by adding fresh food. You know, I am a big advocate for raw food, but also understand that not everybody can do it. If you're gonna go down towards the raw food, look into Answer's pet food. I really like that, and they also have some great supplements, some fish stock, raw goat's milk, cow's milk, kefir. They just got a lot of good stuff that I highly recommend. And then we're going to talk about enrichment. When you're not training and when the dog is not napping, what are you going to do? Right? The puppy still has energy. What are you going to do? So make sure you got some good bones, stuffed Kongs, these little rubber Kongs. You can even freeze it so the dog has to lick a little bit more and work harder to get it out. There's a lot of kibble dispensing toys, so they have to work, maybe push the paw to get the kibbles out, things to have to work for. But enrichment has to be a part of your daily plan too, because enrichment is also how to make sure that we mentally stimulate them and get that mental needs met as well. So no more. I only use my puppy food dish for like a quarter or third of my dog's food for a whole day. So I split it up. So otherwise he's gonna be trained with his kibble, he's gonna be enrichment activities with his kibble, and then he gets a little bit of kibble with water, krill oil, fat, whole fat plain yogurt, some vegetables, some fruit, all those kind of things. So so he gets to again, he gets a good nutrition, and he also gets to work for the nutrition he's going to have anyways. So enrichment is important. So I know that sounds very overwhelming, but believe me, this is the time for you to change your routines and your habits to create that good foundation and start for your puppy. Because we're looking into at least the next 2 years. I know I'm going to train with this dog. Well, he's going to be trained for a lot longer because I have some goals with him, some activities. But I know for the next year and a half to 2 years that is just the main foundation that I'm working on with him. And then we'll see what he likes, whether it's going to be agility, rally, obedience, duck diving. Who knows what he'll like? Swimming, I don't know. Frisbee fetching, who knows? But for right now, I just need to have a dog that I can have in my home as a family dog that understands how to settle, when to engage, what do I want to do when I get the leash out, how does he behave on a leash, how does he, all the things, how to not run up to strangers, how to stay with me when he sees another dog until released, all those kind of things. I am making those, making sure that he's starting now making those choices so that becomes his habits, and then we don't have to deal with frustration later on when he starts thinking that he's been having a chance to repeat the unwanted behaviors for too long, so they become a habit. So this is it. There's no waiting. Socialization has to happen now. Training has to happen now. Structure, management, enrichment has to happen now, because man, you can prevent a lot of issues down the road. Have fun with it too. Have cuddle time too. It's important. Thank you.